Here we go. We're going live with the masterful Mr. AceHitz today. His music is in the background right now. Welcome to the Writer's Corner, man. We live. You know what I mean? You know how we do it. It's Sunday, last day in June. You know what's going on. Master Ace. I see you, bro. I see you, big dog. Just writing letters. Oh, let's pull.
Yo, what's up, bro? You good?
What's going on? What's going on?
Not too bad, man. Same old, man. Just been grinding, bro.
Stay
On the grind.
grinding.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah. What about you? How are you, man? No weather's
know,
getting bad over there, bro.
hey man, every day above ground is a good day, man. It don't matter what's going on, bro.
Yeah, man. I know, but still, I heard it's getting pretty bad still.
Ah, come on. Let me tell you something, man. If you were gonna freak out every time some crazy stuff was gonna go down, then you ain't never gonna have peace of mind, bro. Every day something crazy is going on.
Yeah,
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 whether it's a hurricane, somebody sick, like something's always happening, man.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, for real.
You
It's
know?
definitely it's not easy, man.
That's why you have to learn to quiet your heart and to open your heart and quiet your mind. Do you know what I mean? Because if you don't do that, then you'll always get thrown off by life, man. But if you have compassion, which is an open heart, your mind is quiet, which means that you don't have anything worrying about in your own mind. You can actually take what's
Mhm.
happening and process it as opposed to being caught up in your own emotions.
Yeah,
Then there's never anything to worry about. You'll always be able to figure it out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Keep
it's
it
true, it's
flowing.
true. Yeah, it's true. Let me
Keep it
sort this.
flowing,
Let me sort my cooker out. 1 minute. It's
for sure.
still beeping. But yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm ready, bro.
He said he's ready. AceHitz, you stand 10 toes. You know what I mean?
Trust
We
me.
standing 10 toes right now. Let's go, man.
Yes.
Leo, listen, man. First of all, man, you didn't send me an introduction, but listen, from listening to your music, bro, you you have a nice flow. You know what I mean? You have your
Appreciate
own unique style. You're like a sweet ghetto boy. You know,
it.
like a
Yeah, that's the
wonderful,
best way to put it. Still.
loving gangster. Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean,
That's the best
goddamn,
way
I'm
to
happy
put
you
it.
vibe with that because that's exactly how it comes across when I listen to your music. But bro, listen, man, we're talking about like what you do as a writer, like the process of creating, as a written artist. But here's the question, man. I want to know, why'd you choose to say yes to this little seminar talking about the creative process as a writer? Why'd you say yes?
Um, cause I gotta say yes. You're the homie.
Oh my days.
that's, that's the
I
best way to
appreciate you
put it.
for saying that.
That is the
Oh my
best
days.
way to put it, man. It's funny because I'm not like the biggest writer when it comes
Word,
to music. Um,
word.
I actually just go off of more life experience and
Got you.
just straight off of the mind and just
Yeah,
put it
yeah,
into music.
yeah.
So like when I do actually write, I kind of find that my creative process it doesn't really work as
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
should.
I
Yeah.
feel you. I feel
So
you.
I'm
You like to go off the top.
yeah, I'm more free free form with it.
Oh,
Um,
that's
but
interesting.
the best way of creating music for me is to start freestyling and
Mhm.
then I might write it through.
I feel you. I feel
Practice.
you. That's interesting. So it sounds to me that you don't really like to write down before you get in the booth. You like to just get in the booth, put
Yeah,
the, put the headphones on, stand by the mic, and see what comes out.
yeah.
That's interesting. When you said when you try writing, it feels different to you. It doesn't feel like the creative process is what you want it to be.
Mhm.
Can you tell me more about that?
I just feel like if I'm writing something, I feel like I'm reading it, and when I'm reading something,
Mhm.
I feel like people can always tell that I'm reading, as opposed to
Ah,
being more free form when you can
God,
kind of hit different melodies, different tones, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
just stuff like that. A lot more people tend to feel my music when it does come naturally instead of me actually trying to write it down and get everything perfect.
I
Um,
got you.
I don't think anyone's perfect.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's perfect in general. So
No, Dero.
why am I perfect in my music?
Word. I
Yeah.
feel you. So that's interesting. So have you tried when you write down the songs, have you tried just memorizing the full thing and then performing it and maybe trying out different flows after memorizing the piece? If you've done that, like what's that been like for you?
I've done that before, and it can work sometimes. It just depends if I can remember everything. I normally end up if I do write something, I
Yeah.
normally end up freestyling. Like so, I'll start with maybe the first line,
Yeah.
and then after that, the rest will kind of just naturally come to me.
Comes out. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's dope. As a performer, when I'm doing speeches, I it's similar for me. I don't like to read a script. I like having a script
Yeah,
just as a guide, or maybe like bullet points, with maybe like short explanations on what the bullet point is. But I don't want the full script. I just need what the thing is, and then I'll just talk it.
yeah,
So I see what you mean. That's interesting. But as a musician, though, do you feel like that's limiting to your tool belt of creative methods?
yeah, 100%.
Oh,
I definitely
interesting.
feel like it does limit me in a lot of stages because you'll get to a point where you start repeating stuff and you start kind of falling into the same stuff that you've been talking about
Yeah,
previously.
yeah.
Um, but it's just weird. I just find it hard to write down instead of like just freestyling. I feel like the experiences that I've been through and what I've been through in life, it just makes it easy for me to freestyle it and trying to think of the right word.
No, I got you.
Uh,
Just
compose
freestyle
my
and know to flow out of you naturally.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
just want to flow with water, basically.
that's interesting. So, what do you think are, or what do you feel are the emotions that really drive your music? Like when generally speaking, what are you usually feeling? What's driving your music emotionally?
Um, Mainly struggles in life, trying to mainly struggles in life, traveling the world. I love because I love traveling the world, so I bring that
Word.
into music quite a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and just trying to be a better person. Like it's this those are like the three things that kind of drive me in my music and help me kind of compose my music. Um,
Right.
I'm getting to a stage right now where I am writing a little bit more. I am getting a bit more technical with my lyrics and stuff like that.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
yeah, I'm starting to see like the benefits of it.
Of writing. Um, that's interesting. You said the emotions that drive your music. You never really mentioned any emotions. You said you said struggles and your experiences in
Mhm.
traveling are the two main things that you said. But those aren't really emotions. Do you know what I mean? Those are
Yeah,
like topics, but they're not emotions.
yeah.
So can you,
I'm trying to think what drives me
maybe you
most.
should feel because it's emotions and emotions are like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it is more to feel. Um, it is more to feel.
Because when you say those struggles and like your travel experiences, and just learning to flow with the music, whatever the music conjures out of you, I guess what I'm asking is when you look back on, or when you listen back to the music that you've created,
Mhm.
right? When you listen back to the music that you've created, then the question is how or what do you recognize about yourself while doing these
Uh,
or while listening back to your discography?
a lot of pain.
You recognize a lot of pain.
Yeah, a lot of pain. Um, a lot of hardships.
Yeah.
Trying to think as well. It's it's kind of a difficult one because I enjoy doing
Yeah.
music in it. So it's like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
whatever
For sure.
really comes to mind is it's mainly a lot of pain still. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's the last the last couple of years has been a lot of pain and pain within myself
Yeah.
emotionally. But yeah, that's probably the best way I can put it. I can't really think of any other ways
Yeah,
to
no,
put
I
it.
got you. You said it's a lot of pain. It's all about the struggle. That of course it is. Of course it is. So let's go a little
Mhm.
deeper. When you think about these struggles that you've gone through, what vulnerabilities are you working out in your music?
Oh, that's a good question. I ain't really thought about that. That question.
That's why we're here to explore a bit deeper, man. Let's get into it, Ace. You're
Yeah,
the
that.
mastermind.
Uh, God, I can't even think of how to even answer that question. I really can't. That's a difficult
You know
one.
why? It's because you've been a gangster so long, you don't even know what's going on with these emotion things. You know what I mean?
True.
You just out here with the hands up, just you know what I mean? Combinations in this.
Exactly. It's that.
Ace, you at war, big dog. I feel you, man. Ain't no time for these feelings and vulnerabilities and shit like that. We
Yeah,
gotta work.
yeah. You know, I really don't. I do the music, but I'll be honest with you. I really don't sit down enough to take in my music
Word,
because I'm always on the next one, and
word.
that's why it's such a hard question for me to answer because it's just yeah, it's proper weird, man. Like, I'll make songs and I'll just kind of just put it to the back and just keep
Interesting.
moving on.
Interesting.
Uh,
You know, you're saying that, and what I'm listening to you talk about your music and even your experiences, right? And it occurred to me moments ago that it sounds like the reason why you find it hard to sit and write down your lyrics and it's easier to just get in the booth and flow with the music, it's probably because the things that you're processing, um, is like you're creating a musical diary, and so all of the everything that you've experienced is now in the music. Because what I found is a lot of creators, and this happened to me when I was younger, it was hard for me to go back and read my own work because it was so charged with who and what I was experiencing at the time that reading it back, it was like way too intense, so I just left it where it was.
yeah,
But it sounds to me like that's what's going on with you. Like you're just putting everything into the music and just moving on, because
yeah.
that's your journal,
It's an out.
musical discovery.
It's an outlet for me.
Yeah.
It definitely is an out. Before I did music, I bottled a lot of stuff in. I didn't
Mm,
really many people about my feelings and how I
yeah,
felt and stuff like that.
I feel you.
And I just put it into music. I still kind of like that today, but
Hmm.
now nowadays I talk a little bit
You
more because
talk a little more, sure.
the music allows me to speak a little bit more. When people listen to music like yourself, people ask me questions and stuff like, "Where was you when
Hmm.
you made it?" and "Where was your headspace?" and you know what I
Hmm.
mean.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
it's it's just the love of the music, isn't it? Like I love it. I don't know. It's hard. I'm terrible at answering questions, isn't
Nah,
it?
you're
But
good, bro. You're actually doing really well. You're actually doing really well. Because what I want to know, man, is what's it been like from moving from being the kind of person who just bottled up what he was experiencing, and what he was going through in his own mind and body, to now being able to express those things in music, to now you're even able to talk a little bit more in your everyday regular life. What's that transition been like for you?
yeah, it's been good still.
Mhm.
It's helped me a lot. It's helped me understand myself a lot as a person.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just made me a better person in the long run.
Sure.
I'm a lot more confident with myself. I've got a lot more
Sure.
drive, and
Mhm.
these are things that I struggled with for years, like just confidence and you know what I mean, acceptance and all of that type of stuff.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and the music kind of just brought it out of me. It's a scary thing to go back and listen to it, but
Yeah.
kind of have to, innit? Like
For
you have
sure.
to.
Because you self-reflection is how you develop yourself and make yourself better. But
Yeah.
so here's a question, man. Maybe this is gonna be a tough question for you, but if you could think of three songs that represent this transition that you've experienced, moving from, you know, bottling things up to now being more open and free with your ability to share with what's going on
Yeah.
internally. What would those three songs be, you'd say?
Um,
There are a
in terms of free,
bunch of songs that you have.
wow, I got a lot of songs in it. So the best way I could put
But
it,
if you
right?
just choose three that you just feel that feel right to you in the moment.
Uh, um, trying to think, man. Probably work of art.
Work of art, word.
Work of art. Thanks, Al.
Yeah.
um,
You better stay close because you know I'm gonna call on you soon.
she's here anyway.
Hello, darling. It's good to see you, man.
Nice to see you. Oh, carry on, guys.
Probably work of art.
Yeah,
The best way I could, so the two self-evaluation albums.
for sure. And look
The,
at the name that you've given them. Self-evaluation. That's
yeah,
powerful, man. You know,
those alone will give you an idea of where I'm coming from. But three songs is hard for me to pick right now
no.
off the top of my phone.
Listen, what you just gave me is perfect. The two self-evaluation albums is perfect. Um, but why did you name them self-evaluation? That's the question.
Because I wanted to evaluate myself.
Mm,
It's literally a self-evaluation, so it's deeper than just the words. It's actually me in my most vulnerable state, you know, and trying
right.
to find myself as a person. A lot of the
Mm,
stuff I went through in that period was very close to death, you know,
yeah,
and
yeah,
things like that. It just brings a lot of stuff out of you,
yeah.
and experiences that I've been through, from like just relationships to my health to just living life in general. It's all in one. I had to kind of just get it out of the bottle and put it
Yeah.
onto the music, let people understand like what I'm really going through.
Oh my days, you're definitely a lyricist. Get it out of the bottle and put it on the page, man. That's great.
It's true.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that, bro. Would you say that now that you've opened up as a musician, and you've learned more about yourself, do you think that your lyrics, or you just said that you're becoming more skillful with the way that you put lyrics down, but outside of the skill itself, like what other changes do you see in the way that you're writing?
Changes in terms of how I'm writing.
Yeah.
Uh, it's probably just more dynamic. I'm probably just more now dynamic with my writing. Is trying to change my vocabulary, because I ain't really the best when it comes to like reading, writing,
Mhm.
all of that sort of stuff. And
I feel you.
I used to I used to struggle with it a lot. You
Mm.
know, as I've gotten older, it's taught me just like it doesn't matter. Just try your hardest.
Yeah,
Eventually, you'll get to where you need to be, and people understand because it's real. It's not like fake or anything like that.
that's right.
It's the real deal.
That's right.
This is the raw. This is me in my rawest form.
For sure. For
You
sure.
know,
For sure. Thank you, L. I see your comment, man. Bro, when you say that it's more raw, it's more real, right? Of course it is. Actually, according to Gary Vaynerchuk, it's better that you give us all the documentation up to the point where we see you as the success that we know that you're gonna be, right? And whatever success means to you. But you know, that's a good question. Before I say that, what do you think? What does success feel like to you as a writer, as a musician? How will you know that you're successful?
I don't think I'll ever know.
What are
Yeah,
you
I ever know.
talking about, bro? What do you
Yeah,
mean you don't think you'll ever know? Come
uh,
on,
in
man.
terms of, because I'm so humble, like I'm so for the people. I'm not like one of these people that thinks they're above and beyond. I help so many people more than I help myself. You know, so I always believe that even if I was to make £1 million tomorrow, I, I don't think I'll change. I really don't. I don't think I'll change. Like, even if I was to have over 10 million fans, I don't think it will change me as a person. I mean, so success in terms of the success aspect of it, as long as the music gets to the people that it needs to get to, I'm happy. That's the best way to put it. As long as the music gets to the people like yourself who enjoy it,
Yeah, for sure.
that's the success story for me.
For sure. I love that. But bro, you know, not to contradict you, but really to add to what you're saying, man, to make what you're saying even more robust. It's necessary, I think, for a person, not just a man, but definitely a man, because you're naturally a leader, to have a concept of what your success will look and feel like. So that you can begin to celebrate your small goals, because when you get to the point where you say, you know what, I'm satisfied, I can take care of myself, I can take care of my family, I can take care of my girl, like everybody that's important to me, I can take care of them because I've met the goal, my financial goal, my music goal, my personal goals. Like I've met these goals, I feel fulfilled. I could die tomorrow. I know I've succeeded in doing all the things I wanted to do.
Hmm.
Because if you don't have that, then you're just kind of giving more than you should be giving. Here's what you just said to me. You said that sometimes you take care of people more than you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And bro, as beautiful as that is, and you did say that you're quite humble, and being humble is powerful. But if you do not allow yourself, right, to fill yourself up with all the things that you need as an individual, then when you give without giving to yourself first, you weaken yourself, and then the people that depend on you can't depend on you anymore because you've given them more than they should have gotten from on and out of you. You need
Yeah.
to make yourself fully robust,
Hmm.
and then you can give. Because let's say you cook beans and rice, right?
Yep.
Is, you know, nobody else coming home today, is you alone. You cook one scoop of beans and one scoop of rice, right?
Hmm.
And then your girl brings her 10 friends, and you'll be hungry. Well, if I give you from my plate, I ain't gonna got nothing left. You know what I mean?
I get what I get what you
And
mean.
then nobody's satisfied. You were hungry and everybody hungry because all they got was one bean and one piece of rice. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta fill yourself up, big dog. Especially because you're becoming more of a stronger musician, right? It's necessary for you to build those things into yourself now, because if you wait too long, then you'll be trying to catch up. You'll have way more success, but not enough emotional and physical and mental energy to keep up with it
Yeah.
because you've given more of yourself than you should have. You know what I mean? Something to think about. What does that make you think about when you hear me say that?
Um, that you're right, to be honest. I do have goals, and I do see myself being big and all of this stuff, but I don't know. It's a weird one, really. It's a weird one because I clearly believe in myself. I do a lot of
Yeah,
music and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm pretty confident
yeah,
and all of that sort of stuff, but yeah, I just never really thought about it. Like it's never really thought about it because I'm doing so much. I don't have time to really sit there and think about these things.
mm,
I lot. I do a lot outside of the music, like
yeah.
because I producer, I got my hands in everything.
I
You
feel
know
you.
what I mean? So
I
I
feel you.
really don't actually sit down and think about it. So people like yourself are actually, it's like, yo, you're letting me know, like, okay, you need to think about yourself sometimes and try to figure out where you want to go, what avenue you want to choose,
For
and
sure.
like that. And it's really important
For
because
sure.
I'm with you on that. I'm definitely with you on that, and I will be thinking more after this conversation today about like
Yeah, man.
where do I want to see myself in the next 5 years with the music? How can I push it?
Yeah.
Um, and also not, like you said, not to go too crazy about others and keep
Yeah.
focusing on yourself
Yeah.
and your craft because naturally people are drawn to me anyway, so they'll
Yeah.
follow anyway, no matter what I do.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly, exactly. Plus, I don't know, bro. There's a random story, but I remember there's a story in the Bible about a young man who he became prime minister of Egypt, right?
Hmm.
Because he knew that there was a famine coming. So what he did was he took, I think it was 7 years, just collecting grain for 7 years because he knew 7 years from then they'd be in famine. And because they took all that time to build up their storehouses,
Yeah,
when it came to giving to their people and even nations outside of Egypt, they were able to easily serve them because they had
yeah,
surplus. And
yeah,
that's what you should have for yourself, man. Surplus, man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's where you can really help people. Bro, I want to get back into the writing though. You know what? And then I'm gonna bring up LJ, but I wanna ask you one more
yeah,
question, right? Um, I wrote this one down because when I think about powerful men like yourself, man, you know what I mean, who have inner drive, they're trying to do something great beyond what they see right now. They just know what they're doing is important and they need to keep doing it.
yeah.
I gotta ask you this question: are you afraid
Go
of
on.
success, of succeeding?
Nah, I wouldn't say I'm
No.
afraid of it.
All right, let me change.
Uh,
Let me alter it slightly. If you were going to think about the greatest success that you could create for yourself, what in your body or in your mind do you feel or think would be a hindrance to that?
God, try. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good one. I don't even know how to answer that question.
It's
Uh,
okay. Take it. First thing that comes to mind.
I'm not too sure. I'm trying to think of how to answer that question. Say it again.
If you if you were to think about the highest degree of success that you could create for yourself,
Hmm.
what do you suppose would be a hindrance to that?
What would stop me from that? Ooh, I don't think anything could stop me from gaining success.
Wow. Oh, hey, say less.
No,
I like that.
I,
Dude, I love how resolute you are. You're like, nothing could stop me from doing this.
no, nothing. At all. I'll do this until I die, bro. That's
That's
how really.
powerful.
Like,
That's powerful.
yeah.
All
I
the
don't.
more reason you deserve to have all the success, man, so you could enjoy it until you die.
Yeah. Hopefully it will come one day. I always say this, man, all in due time. Do you know what I mean? You just got to
Yeah,
keep working on yourself, and eventually things will start to
I
marinate.
know.
Yeah.
Marry. I like that. I like that. I like that. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what? Let's bring LJ up one time. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask her a few.
Hell.
I want a 2 year old man. This is good. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't had two people on at the same time yet. I think this is
Hell.
gonna be fun. Where's she at?
Speak to her.
I
Yeah.
saw her on here. I was gonna just add her in
Yeah. You can
separately.
want, yeah.
I invited her already. So once she sees the invite, she can pull up. That's gonna be
Oh,
dope.
get the invite. He invited you on your phone. She's like, oh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
You
Not
gotta stay ready so you don't gotta get ready, B. You know what I mean? Come on now.
Hey, though, she just come from a long drive, man. Like literally, yeah, but I don't know. She might join.
She might
Who knows?
join. You see, this would be dope, man. This would be dope. You guys are gonna be the new Kanye and Kim. Did I get that right? Is it Kanye and Kim? Yeah.
Kanye, him.
Beyonce and the other one. That's what I meant to say. What's the other one? Jay-Z and Beyonce. That's it. That's it.
That's
Jay-Z and
it.
Beyonce. Kanye and Kim is crazy, bro. That's kind of crazy. I don't know why I did that to you. Kanye and Kim is crazy. That's disrespectful if you think about it.
All good.
Damn. Oh my God. Have you seen his new wife, bro? Anyway, we ain't gonna talk about that nigga. You know what I mean? Forget that.
What did you say, Al? She sent a request.
Yeah, I attempted to. It's loading or something. I don't know
Yeah,
what's happening.
connection. Oh, you gotta come. You gotta come in here. Yeah, I'm trying to get it to sort it, but I know the connection in my living room is
Oh,
a
it's a
bit.
bit shoddy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel you.
One is like a black spot in the house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a white
Yeah.
spot. It's not a black spot. You're very
All
racist.
right, all right. They
Oh my goodness, that was hilarious. You gotta be careful, big dog. All right, let's see. Let's see if I pull her in one more time.
yeah.
Bro, I spoke to one of your friends,
Which one did you speak to?
I'm gonna tell you his name right now. Very cool dude. He said we're gonna talk very soon. We actually locked a date in as well. That's Picasso with a pen.
Yeah, Picasso. Yeah, that's a close
Pretty
friend of
cool
mine.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like any friend of Ace is a friend of mine. I was like, God damn, I appreciate it, King. Golly.
I got a good little team beside me, man.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ace coming through with the team, man. You know what I mean? With the Uzis and
Little
everything.
puller up. Well, I inspire a lot of people, man. I
Yeah,
inspire a lot. I
I
do a lot.
can see that. I can see that. You see that that's why these conversations are so important to me because I think the content of your lyrics or your music or even the contents of a book, like all of this stuff, that's cool. This is all cool. But I want to know, how did you get to the point where you're putting this stuff onto paper or into a song? Because I feel like a lot of people, they want to get into something creative. They want to paint, they want to write. But I think writing is very accessible to most people, to a lot of people. And if they're able to consider ways in which people just learn to express themselves, like for you may have to write after you do the whole performing in the brute thing, because you have
Yeah,
to perform it, record it, and then re-listen to it to write it down so that you can perform it again on
yeah,
stage, which is fine.
hmm
You have to do the thing that works best for you.
yeah.
But at least now somebody might say, sitting down and writing is hard for me, bro. But I mean, this guy said that all he does is listen to the thing and start doing his thing. It's like, oh, I could probably do that. Just sit quietly and just see what comes to mind, and I'll write.
You just gotta feel it. You gotta understand that. While I'm making the beat, I'm already writing in my head.
Word, word.
So a lot of my instrumentals and I'm writing it in my head at the same time before the instrumental's even done.
Ah, that's it.
And then I get in the booth and I record what's on my mind straight away.
Right, right, right.
There's no break, or I can't sit. If I end up sitting down and writing it, I will lose
Yeah,
what I want to talk about, and I go a bit off track.
yeah. Nah, I feel you. L, just stay right here. Where you going, B? Your phone ain't connected. Where you going, man? Just pull up right here, man. Let's keep it simple. But
Yeah,
I,
oh, man.
bro. So it sound okay. So when you're creating music, sometimes, oh, okay, you settling down,
Yeah.
making space. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yo, in 20 years when you guys are multi-billionaires, you know what I mean? And we do this again because all of us own Instagram, you know what I mean? We got rid of that white guy. Oh, God, this is dope, man. I'm proud of y'all. Listen, I wanted to ask you one more thing, Ace. When you think about your ability to write, to put beats together, and then the lyrics just come to mind one time, right? Have you ever been just walking or driving or something, and both the beats and the lyric come to you one time, or do you usually just hear the beat first?
Um, it's more of a feeling of the beat. Yeah, the beat first, and
Yeah,
then I can start
and then the
to
lyrics come after.
figure out, because you kind of need to feel the melody, and you know what I
Yeah,
mean. You're going with it
yeah,
instead
yeah,
of
for sure.
just writing down and
Yeah,
then then finding a beat
yeah,
that will
yeah,
fit. It's so for me, it's one of the things where I'll hear the beat in my head and I'm like, okay, this might be an Afro beats type of beat. This might be
for
a
sure.
rap type of beat. And then
Yeah,
from there, it's like, okay, where am I going to go with it? Because there always has to be some type of subject matter in. Do you know
Yeah.
what
for
I mean?
sure,
I don't
for
want to
sure.
talking to just talk, because
Yeah,
a lot of people do that.
yeah,
It's got sense, and
I
I'm
feel
very
you.
things making sense. So
Yeah.
in terms of, to answer your question, the beat first,
Hmm.
then the right
And then the
across
lyrics.
my mind, and then I'll freestyle, and then
Yeah.
after that, I might start to write through my freestyles.
Right, I got you. Because now you have the general flow and structure.
Yeah,
Do you two ever write together? I know that you've been attempting to write a bit more. So do you guys ever write together?
We do. We do.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
hope
So
I'll
wait, hold on. So are you writing more for Ace or more for L? At the moment, it seems like
right more for L,
yeah,
but at the same time, it
yeah,
helps me as well.
Yeah, it depends on
So
the
yeah.
vibe. Like I find more upbeat stuff I'll need help with. But when
Mhm.
it's like the deep stuff, it's easier for me to tap into because it's more like the truth for me. And yeah, the darker stuff it's weird. It comes more
Yeah,
natural
it's
compared
easy.
to the bright stuff.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah,
Need, like assistance. It's
yeah. I
yeah.
got you. That's interesting. So when you write together, what's that like? Do you have the music on in the background and it's just on a loop, or do you guys just kind of sit down and see what the subject matter is and just massage your mind into it?
mm, no,
Usually the beat's on, isn't it?
yeah, I'll basically explain to her like the beat is on, try and
Mhm.
freestyle so I can kind of see where you're going with it, and
Right.
she'll
Right.
freestyle some good stuff, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
little tightening up. She does a lot of her music on her own.
That's dope.
I don't write a whole verse for her.
No, no, no. It's
Like
just kind of tidying up.
yeah, yeah,
So when you're in the process of coming up with the lyrics and you're just kind of freestyling, do you record those sessions as well, or you just kind of let those be, just let they're gone now?
With
everything, everything.
and then listen
Oh,
back.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Record
Oh,
everything.
wow.
But even
Okay,
if it's
okay.
harmonizing,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't matter. You can always
yeah.
piece words when
Mm.
someone's harmonizing.
Yeah.
Mm. That's interesting. When you're writing together as opposed to writing by yourselves, what challenges do you experience?
When we're
Uh,
writing together.
yeah.
Yeah,
What challenges do?
because I
Um,
mean, writing by yourself, it's just you and the pen. But when you're writing with someone else, you kind of have to feed off each other's energy.
sometimes like the subject matter, you have to kind of get each other on the same, like, oh, I want to go here with it. And then once you both kind of understand, that's when it kind of lifts off and then the idea starts to bounce.
Yeah.
The
Is there is is there a song or that you've put out already or that hasn't come out yet that you've created together that you're most proud of?
Yeah, it's quite a few songs. Um, like Soul
Yeah.
Cry, Soul Cry is
Okay.
one
Yeah.
on her EP. Got an
Yeah,
EP that
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's an emotional one for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's songs, and then you've got You Think You Know Me, different type of
yeah.
vibe for her,
Yeah.
Got
but
you.
it brought out something different,
Yeah.
you know, because you sometimes we can clash, and that's like anyone in the
Mm.
studio. Sometimes you can clash, but you have to have a fine balance of whether to understand when you're going too far
Yeah,
and when you're, do you know what I mean? Because
yeah, what the balance
you got
is.
you just got no boundaries.
Yeah,
Some people's boundaries are like this, and some people's boundaries are like that.
I like that.
It's
That's true. That's
understanding.
true.
It's understanding that.
Is there anything that you're afraid to talk about in your music? That's the two of you.
Me personally, no. I don't know about L.
Um, yeah, it
Like you're just
depends.
reluctant. Like what?
Maybe sometimes the truth, like when I'm going through something, I find it hard to write about it. But then once a few months have passed, I'll find it a lot easier. So in the
Wow,
moment, challenges,
gotcha.
you
Yeah,
kind of need your brain to process first, and then you can really come up with the lyrics. And yeah,
for
whereas
sure.
on you prefer to write when you're going through it, don't you?
Yeah,
You find it more easier to articulate yourself like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Not
very
everyone to like put their whole life out on a canvas. You know what I mean?
yeah, for everyone to see.
Yeah,
Just like that.
and it's not easy. And I think it's a bit harder for women in general to put their life out there a bit more than males.
Yeah.
But at the same,
'Cause
it's a lovely thing when it happens.
yeah, because then we could really connect to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
for sure. For sure. You know, last question to the two of you, man. When you're writing together or by yourself, are there any rituals that you get into? Like, is there a process? You know, outside of just putting the beats on, but is there like before the beats come on, before the pens come out, is there anything that you have to get done before? Like, you have to have 3 baths or something? I don't know. Eat 2 chocolate bars. I don't know what anything like that. No
Nah. You just gotta,
ritual.
as long as you feel it in the moment, and you're ready to
I'm
record,
kidding. Yeah,
that's all that.
that's all you need.
Just
That's interesting. That's
you
interesting.
just have the drive, the energy to want to do it. There's nothing like, oh, I need to be drunk to make music. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ten fellas in the booth, two Crown Royals and 10 blunts. All right, let's go. Now we're ready.
yeah. Don't
We don't need any
do
of that.
before
I like
without.
that. All right, I'm gonna ask you a future state question because this is gonna be interesting. I gotta know this for y'all. Listen, when you become superstars,
Mhm.
right? What are 2 of the weird requests you'll have as artists for your green room? Because you gotta have weird requests. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Come on now.
you agree. Okay. Uh, hey.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it?
That is a good. You got me thinking.
Okay.
Take your time. Take your time.
For your green room.
Hmm.
What do you mean by green room?
Yeah.
All right, so the green room or the dressing room is like, you know, the place that you wait in before you go up on stage. Usually, you know, some people they ask for like deviled eggs, or they say that they have to have Skittles, or the room must be 16 degrees Celsius, or you like they have very specific requests. You know, they want only 2 people to be allowed in. It's just my manager. Like you have to have.
Probably that's probably it. Less people
Minimalistic.
around me. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
minimalistic. Yeah, I don't want
Okay.
too many people around me.
All right.
Yeah,
So limited number of people in your green room. What else? Give me one more.
uh,
Give me one more. Like, what else would you like to experience in your green room before you go up on stage? What would make you feel good?
positivity around me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
want me to? So hold on. So if I'm hiring you for my club or my party, you know, 1,000 people in the audience, right?
Hmm.
All you want, right, is in your green room. You just want limited people to have access to you, right? That's it. And you want me to put up 1,000 affirmations. That's it. So when you walk in, just positive vibes that you're reading all around you. That's it.
Mm, I wouldn't say it like that.
Say that at all. You say this is ridiculous.
Say
Okay.
it like, but I'm just trying to think.
For me, it'd be just peace and quiet for clarity, because I think
Okay.
if
Peace and
I
quiet.
too much going on before,
Yeah.
I will just get my mind
Yeah.
ticking. I just need quiet,
Yeah.
let me think and gather myself
Yeah.
and a steady kind of thing.
All right. So you don't need any snacks. You don't want to. You just want silence. Okay. That's
Yeah.
cool. You guys are very simple people. I love to hire you. I'll hire you. You're hired. $1 million each per night. How about that?
Yeah,
Set
yeah,
you up forever. They're like, yeah. We like that. Guys, thank you so much for your time, man. I look forward
all
to our
right.
next conversation back when you guys might have, you know, maybe 1,500 people in your inbox next time you come on. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
you
I know.
guys blew up. I'm very excited for you, man.
Happen.
Thank you for your time, man.
Thank
Guys,
you.
this has been the Writer's Corner. This has been LJ. This has been the Masterful Ace Hits to my favorite musicians and upcoming artists, man. And they're gonna be in your ears all day, every day, because their music is so good. But until next time, everybody, thank you so much, man. And guys, I bless your life with love and wisdom. Remember, you're meant for such greatness you couldn't believe it, man. You're meant for such greatness you couldn't believe it. Until next time.